Previously on Fate and the Fablemaidens.
Are you Howard?
Yes.
Is he cute?
He's reasonably cute, yeah.
Okay. There's something that people don't know about me.
Uh-huh.
I stuff my boots because my feet are
Oh, Twiddle.
hilariously tiny.
What's the difference between a jewelress and a walrus? Right now, nothing, because jewelress is on a wall.
I work at the University of Laurasio. It's in the capital city, of course, and I would love for you to come back with me and my team, talk a little bit more about Medaris. I can call my TA, he can pick us up in the morning.
Are there fish tacos in Laurasio?
Mary says, yeah, there are some fish tacos. There's a lot of stuff in Laurasio. It's like a really big city.
Yesterday they were on a boat. Now they're on a quest, though their new companions are questionable at best. They travel to the capital making small talk. Oh, but we know where their priorities lie. In finding fish tacos. This is Fate and the Fablemaidens.
Can I just say I'm so happy to be sitting in a chair, with what is kind of like a desk.
How do they treat you?
We have so many great things today. First, we have a chair for Sam.
Woo!
Woo!
Second, this is the first time we're recording at my grandmother's house.
Woo!
Because I just moved.
Yeah, Mimi.
Yeah, Mimi. Woo! Thanks, Mimi, for offering us your home. Also, we have two guests with us today.
Whoa.
James, would you like to say hello?
Hi, I'm James. I'm Laura's husband.
He's the male voice that we have today.
Mm-hmm. Also, Mom, would you like to say hi?
Hi, I'm Mom.
Hi, Mom.
So
Hi.
we do have a lot of moms on this podcast, so maybe just a little bit more specific will work.
All right, I'm Renee's mom.
What's your name, Mom?
Oh yeah, I'm Julie.
Okay,
Julie.
so if Renee makes a decision we don't like, can we complain to you? And then because you're her mom, then you can make her make a different
Ooh,
decision.
I like to think she's like Mother Nature.
Now, Becca, you know that hasn't worked in many years.
But Mom was helping me here to help me move this weekend, which has been a little bit crazy, but we were able to get it done. And last night I said, yeah, we'll record Fate and the Fablemaidens tomorrow, and her eyes just lit up and she said, can I be on the podcast? And I said, yeah, maybe. But then I actually thought about it and found a way to kind of include a cameo for her today. So you will get to hear the vocal stylings of Julie Rhodes, my mother. So without further ado, we will hop back in. So Winnie, you woke up first thing in the morning and found a note by your pillow.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it was from your friend, Mid, and accompanied by 3 rings. There is a blue sapphire-looking ring. There is a garnet ring. And there is a purple ring. Amethyst. That sounds right.
Yay.
Oh, good. So there is a little bit of a note at the bottom that does designate which each of the rings are, but you can kind of deduce from each of them that the garnet ring is Mid's, the sapphire ring is Julrus's, and the amethyst ring is Kelana's, who is the third sibling. I'm not actually sure y'all ever asked her name, but Mid did write it down for you.
Yeah, he said it
We
at one
asked
point.
earlier, yeah.
Okay, so you have those 3 rings, and the 2 of you, Merryweather and Twiddle, are you waking up? How is your morning going?
No, we just died. I didn't wake up this morning.
Okay.
I am snoring very loudly, as I do.
Okay. Merryweather, are you just out?
I wake up. I'm not dead.
Okay. Good.
Yes. I don't know. I just wake up.
Okay, to help you out with that, Dr. Rhett pops her head into the tent and says, rise and shine! Let's get you 3 to Laurasio!
I still don't trust her.
Well, do you say that?
I whisper it.
Okay.
I don't think that got me.
Okay, I don't think she's gonna notice you whispering that. She's oblivious and seems to be more of a morning person than Twiddle clearly is.
I'm gonna go over to Twiddle and whisper, I have a present for you.
Yep.
Good morning.
That'll wake me up. I'm kind of gonna go, and do a zombie rise. like lift up
Okay.
and like open one eye and kind of look at Winnie and go, present?
And I give her the purple one, the amethyst one.
Okay. Sam,
Yes.
what do you do with that ring?
Oh, I like shiny things.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably like look at it and then put it on.
Okay. Once you put it on, you feel suddenly, it's hard to explain, but you feel suddenly very resistant to thunder and lightning.
It's just this innate feeling.
It's a weird feeling you have.
It's a gut feeling and not meta at all.
Thunder and lightning. That's pretty exciting.
So, Meriwether and Winnie, what do you do with the other 2 rings?
I give the blue one.
Where did you get that ring?
As I hand it to her, I say, they were in a note on my pillow when I woke up.
There's a ring fairy?
His name is Mid. He's my friend.
Oh.
I think Dr. Rhett at this point is just
Oh yeah,
like,
she's still here. Darn it.
I'll let you do your thing. I do have eggs out if you're ready for breakfast, but if you could just pack up and maybe meet me outside and you can do your little gift exchange first, okay?
Okay.
Groovy.
Okay, bye.
She's nosy.
I put on Julris's ring.
Great, you get the gut feeling that you are more resistant to fire and cold damage.
Ah. It's so strange. I don't know how to describe it, but I suddenly feel resistant, like to fire and cold.
Ooh. I put mine on.
Great, you suddenly feel resistant to I am going to go, it is a little bit unorthodox, but, lining them up with the elements was a little bit weird. So it is going to be force and poison damage.
Ooh.
So yeah, you're all sporting some new bling.
I like it. I'm wearing mine on my middle right finger.
That's beautiful and very specific.
Mm-hmm.
So what do the 3 of you do? Do you pack up the room, head out for some eggs?
Yeah, yes.
I mean, you don't have to.
I check on my craft.
Okay.
I'm gonna go get some eggs, but like it's one of those like cool cinematic moments where as soon as I open the tent flap, I'm gonna turn back into Sarah, who we met in the town that Winnie grew up with. So I'll be a human with brunette hair and a braid.
Okay, so you exit the tent, and as the 3 of you walk into the morning sun, the sun has only come up a little bit. It's not you've missed dawn, but it's not high in the sky yet. You find that most of the camp has already been packed up. Over where one of the main tents was, there's a machine with sort of trailer attached to it. Meriwether, you would know that this is called an automobile from your travels. Yeah. Winnie, you've probably seen a couple you've seen a couple of these coming to Lochlar, but they're not very commonplace in your hometown. Meriwether, they're mostly in cities. Twytle, this would be the first you've seen a machine like this.
Is it on?
It's kind of humming a little bit. It looks a little bit like a covered wagon.
Yeah. I'm gonna take out both of my clubs and go attack it.
Okay.
Stop!
As you go to attack it, there is a Goliath loading a few boxes into the back.
What?
I think that the Goliath may notice you running at it with your clubs.
Yeah.
What do you think, Goliath friend?
Hey, excuse me. Don't be doing that to my truck.
Stand back! You don't know what this thing could do.
I'm the driver. I know exactly what this thing could do.
I'm gonna whack it.
I'm gonna stop her from whacking it.
Okay, Sam, I'm gonna roll James's roll. Go ahead and roll me, I would say dexterity to get around him.
I am rolling high tonight. That is a 19.
That's a bummer, because James's roll wasn't that good that I rolled for him.
Thanks.
Does he get assistance because I'm screaming at her to stop?
Does he get you know what? I would be fine with that, considering I rolled a nat 20 on the second one. So, James, how do you stop her?
Well, if she's gonna be running at the automobile, then I kind of like pick her up and swing her around with her momentum and send her back the other direction.
Wow, that's different.
Wow. He's throwing me. I'm not used to getting thrown.
Yeah.
I don't think he throws you so much as you run at him and your legs are still moving as he swings you around, and since your legs are still moving, you find yourself running back the opposite direction.
Okay. Then as soon as I can, I'm gonna like stop, like put my heels in, maybe like pick up a little sand on the way, and then turn around with kind of a pouty face. Dude, what's your problem?
What's your problem?
Beast. And I'm gonna point to the car.
No, it's not a beast. If it is, it's tame.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a tame beast. We'll go with that.
Is it your pet?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I've never seen a pet like that. I'm gonna like walk back to the car and like kind of like gingerly put my hand on the front bumper.
No.
Okay.
It likes being scratched behind the ears.
Oh, so I'm gonna go to what Samantha knows are the rearview mirrors and like gingerly like scratch there and like look at this Goliath and say like this.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, good.
At this point, Mary pops out the side. There's kind of like most of it is covered in cloth for the players for reference, a little bit like a Jeep, but longer with the bed in the back. Mary kind of pops her head out and says, "Oh, good. Wait, I haven't seen you before."
I'm just gonna like look at her.
This is my friend Sarah.
And I think she kind of she looks at both of you and then shrugs.
Twyla was eaten alive by sand monsters.
I'm just gonna kind of look at her and go, "Oh, okay." So Winnie isn't lying.
Thank you.
I don't understand what that means. I know something's up. Like, I've seen multiple people, but not multiple. You're the same person, right?
I'm gonna change back into Twyla in front of her.
Her eyebrows go up a little bit, but she's definitely suspicious that something's going on by now. You've pulled the wool over her eyes a couple times, and so she's surprised but not shocked. And she's like, so you can just do this?
Yeah, it has to be somebody I've seen, but I don't know. I just kind of see it like, okay, if you were to go gardening, would you wear your best furs to go gardening?
She says, I don't suppose so.
No. So, you wear your gardening clothes with your gloves and your boots and the rake that you made out of a tree that you chopped down yesterday. So, like, I just wear the person that I need to be for the day. And since we're going to a place I've never been, I'm going to change back into Sarah. I feel like this is more fitting.
She kind of nods for a second. She goes, so when you were dressed, as you call it, as Winnie, that wasn't your best furs?
No, that was...
It was for the situation.
Yes, she let me be her.
Okay. Interesting.
How tall are Goliaths?
Very.
Yeah, we're pretty tall.
Yeah, I'd say James is pretty well over 6 feet.
Oh, good God.
Like, yeah, let's say James. I'll let you kind of decide, but
I'll let him introduce himself. I'll describe him a little bit. He's very tall, over 6 feet, maybe 6'8", but he is wearing like these small spectacles, like a pince nez, and
yes.
a little waistcoat and some slacks. No shoes, because no shoes are gonna fit him. He looks like if you took a librarian and made him huge. That's him.
Twyla's going to be admiring his feet, by the way.
Okay.
For reference on his race there, too, Goliaths tend to have gray skin with black markings and tattoos. I'm assuming he has some of that going on.
Pretty common markings and coloration.
So I want to go up and lean against the car, the automobile, and I look up at him. Nice car you've got here. Mind if I look under the hood?
Yeah, that'd be fine, as long as you're not gonna hit it like your friend.
No, I would never do such a thing to such a wonderful machine. What's your name?
I'm Krang, the lore seeker.
Krang?
Yeah, that's right.
The
Clang.
lore seeker?
Krang. Yeah, it's not really a compliment where I'm from, but it works well in the city.
Cool. Nice to meet you. And I stick my little hand up to, 3 feet.
And I reach down and kind of stick a pinky out.
I shake it. And then I happily walk over to the hood and try to climb up to open it.
Okay, at about this point, Keb and Howard bring up a couple more boxes and say, Keb says, Krang, do these just go in the back too?
Oh yeah, let me help you with those.
He says, okay, and he hands his off to you pretty fast, and Howard, I think, goes, I got it.
I'm gonna help Howard. I'm gonna rush over to help Howard.
And he still kind of holds onto the box for a second, but after a minute he realizes there's not really any arguing with you and lets you take it.
Is he surprised at all by my appearance?
I think he's a bit befuddled, and so he's still just a little bit stunned as he lets you have the box, and he goes, so are you, do I know you?
Oh, I'm gonna wink at him and say, we're working on that, and then I'm gonna put the boxes away.
I think he kind of goes, oh, okay. And then he turns around to go get more boxes, and you hear Dr. Rhett from the other side of camp go, does anybody else want eggs?
Oh, yeah, just a second.
I'm hungry.
I'm just working on this car. car.
I'm rushing over.
Me too.
Okay, she kind of ladles some out for you, and she says, just let me know as soon as you're done, and we can hit the road, okay? Do you mind if we pack up the tent?
It's not our tent.
I don't care.
Well, that's true. Just I didn't want to go through any of your stuff if you had it all out, or if you just wanted to know.
Considerate of
okay.
you.
Nah.
Okay.
She kind of like motions to Howard and Keb, and they head over to start taking the stakes out of the ground and pack up the bedrolls inside and roll up the tent itself.
I'm going to gesture to Winnie for her to go for her eggs first.
Aw.
Okay, so she serves you out eggs, and I think that you have a pretty nice breakfast. Meriwether, you wrap up.
Instead of eating breakfast, could I spend the time with my tinker's tool seeing if I can improve the engine?
Okay, yeah, sure. You'll
Tinkering
have to
is my fuel.
roll me a d20 with your tinkerer's tools.
What is that? How do I do that?
You'll add your proficiency bonus to your roll.
18.
That's with your proficiency.
Yeah.
Great. So I think this automobile was humming before, and now it's purring. And I think you can tell that the engine has noticeably become stronger with what you've been working on it. And I think, James, would you like to?
Yeah, Crane comes over and kind of looks over your shoulder as you're tinkering there, and he looks pretty impressed.
Thanks.
He just looks impressed. He didn't say anything.
I can recognize when people recognize my greatness, so.
Wow, I really recognize your greatness there.
So you all wrap up breakfast, except for Meriwether, who I think kind of puts the hood down when she's done and dust your hands off maybe.
Yeah, wipe them off on my apron thing.
There you go. Okay. Dr. Rhett says, "All right, is everything ready to go?" And Howard is putting the last bedrolls kind of in the back in the trailer that's hooked onto the car itself with a buffer and chain. It's coupled to the car, and he gives a thumbs up, and she says, "All right, last thing," and she points over behind the trailer where the Flipper Wind glide boat of the land but not sky or sea is still anchored, and she says, "We weren't sure what you wanted to do with it, so we left it out for now, but there should be room in the trailer if you want to put it in and ride back in the car.
I want to
with
get
us."
it patented.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm sure you'll be able to only improve it once you have proper materials. I'm impressed with what you've done with it.
Well, thank you.
She kind of nods over to Krang and says, "If you could get that loaded up, I think we're ready to go."
Yeah, Krang hops to it.
I'm going to stand by
Okay,
the trailer and just kind of look how it's attached to the car and just say, what a strange beast.
Okay. And Twiddle, as you're kind of standing there looking, Mary gets into the bed of the car, which is covered by cloth, and she kind of looks at you and says, "Are you coming? Are you just gonna stay here?"
Do I need to make an offering to the beast first?
She says, "We will make an offering when we get back, and need to refuel."
That seems fair. Please let me know what the beast eats and I will try to hunt one down.
She just kind of nods at you and ducks back inside the car.
Okay, I will join her.
You all load into the car, and Riley goes around front, and there is kind of like an opening between the cab where the driving is happening, which she, the seat is already pushed back well for a Goliath driver. Dr. Rhett takes the passenger seat, and she kind of looks back at you and she says, "Everyone ready?"
Aye, aye.
I put a thumbs up, even though that I don't think that's a gesture in this world. So I just say yes.
Well, I think that Howard gave a thumbs up earlier, so sure, why not?
Okay, cool. Thumbs up.
Also, I'm pretty sure Mid wrote a thumbs up on your note. So.
Oh, yeah, he did. Cool. That's my new gesture from now on. Mid approved.
Mid approved.
Thumbs up.
Okay. The automobile starts moving, and for a while, it's a little bit slow going. I think it's noticeably faster than it was.
Hey, man, thanks for getting under the hood. This thing's gonna, have a much better trip on the way back.
I know.
And you begin this trip.
I'm going to be examining the inside. And who am I sitting next to? Am I sitting next to Mary?
Yeah, I think you're sitting next to Mary, and Howard is across the way from you, and Keb is also across the way from you. Meriwether, you're by Howard and Keb, and Winnie, I think you'll be by Twiddle.
I'm going to turn to Mary and say, I think I understand. The beast is wearing armor, and the beast, and I'm going to gesture towards the front, is in there. But how does it make the armor move?
She looks at you dead in the eye and says, magic.
I'm gonna nod knowingly and then like just rest my feet up.
Okay. So the way I'd like to kind of do this is you do have a couple of hours in this car. I think the best way would be to kind of ask each of you how you would like to spend this trip. And it can be in conversation, it can be kind of together if you want to ask any questions of any of the NPCs while you're here. And we'll go ahead and do that in initiative order. So Meriwether, you'll be first.
I think that I would spend the time. So Mira's probably looking out the windows. She probably pulled that map back out that she took off the counter and is kind of like trying to keep track of where they are and the different landmarks and kind of like add like marks onto the map to make it more detailed, I think.
Yeah, you do notice that as you go on the trip, you are getting closer and closer to the city Lauracio, which is mapped on your map. So as you make the landmarks, you match up the scenery with the map, and it's leading you closer and closer to the city.
Cool.
So are you kind of self-absorbed doing that?
Yes, I think so, and maybe making various comments about other ways that the automobile could be improved.
Okay, yeah.
But not like in a mean way, but in like we could do this too, and then we could make this other thing happen, and then it would be able to go better over the sand, and then so that's.
Yeah,
but she's not actually talking to people necessarily.
Krang is listening intently.
As she kind of mutters to herself, Winnie, what are you up to?
I think it's time that me and Mary have a talk.
Okay, Twiddle is sitting between you at this point.
Okay, well, I'll do the classic lean in front of Twiddle to look around at Mary.
She looks at you and she goes, yes.
Mary, where are you from?
I'm from Lauracio.
Is that where we're going?
Yes.
Okay. Are all the halflings in Lauracio like you?
She narrows her eyes a little bit and is like, what do you mean?
Because where I'm from, halflings have joy. They like their life. They're interested in what's happening around them. They're nice. And you just don't seem the same. So I was just wondering if it's you or if it's your city.
She's looking, if you had to say, a little bit insulted, probably because you just insulted her. And she kind of looks at you. She says, I don't really know what that's supposed to mean, but I think that I am me, and a lot has got me to where I am, and I'm not so worried about being nice. I would call myself, I know how to find joy in what I do, and I don't have to take that criticism from you.
I just want to know what's in my future if I'm a halfling in that city. Because I also like who I am, and I'm just scared that a big city is going to crush my soul.
She does kind of laugh at that, and she's like, yeah, my soul is not crushed, so you should be fine. You've got quite a soul on you. That's for sure.
Thanks. You too. And she's like, goofy grin.
She says, okay. Keb kind of leans over to you at this point. He says, despite what you may think, Mary's pretty cool and really good at what she does.
What's that?
She's a wizard.
You're a wizard?
Mary kind of like hits him on the knee a little bit, and he's like, yeah, no, she's really good at it too. She studies magic, and she's working on it a lot.
That's so cool, Mary. You should lead with that.
She says, it's not something I really brag about yet. I don't really know what's in my future, and I don't feel like I have to know that yet. I'm enjoying what I do. But yeah, I did try and tell you that I could do that, but that's fine. It's fine. It's no big deal, really.
That's very halfling brave of you, Mary, to just be happy without knowing what you're doing. That's very brave of you.
Thanks. She's like, I've got bravery and joy. Yay.
Well, I've got the joy.
I like to imagine, I know that's not a song in that world, but I like to imagine Twiddle just sitting there in the middle as they're having this conversation and she just starts singing.
That sounds about right. Which does lead us to, Twiddle, what are you doing for your trip.
So many things. What all is in the car with us right now?
There's not actually a ton of items. There are some backpacks that are shoved under the seats, but none of the actual cargo is in the car with you.
Okay, then this actually works really well for what was just happening. I'm going to pull out my bear trap and my carving tools, and I'm going to, because I don't think I've done this yet, I'm going to carve my tribe symbol onto my bear trap. And I might be like singing a little tribal ditty as we go to myself.
Okay, so I think towards the end of it, Howard leans up to you and just says, "It looks nice."
Thank you. Where I come from, this just shows that you belong.
He says, "That's a good feeling to have and a good reminder to have."
Yeah. Do you want one?
He said, a bear trap?
No. And I'm going to pull out one of my clubs, which already has like the symbol on it, and just give it to him. Say, here.
Okay, I think he takes it and is a little bit surprised, but he does run his hand over the symbol and he says, "It's very nice.
Thanks.
Thank you."
Which, actually, if I could take the time, I've never said what my tribe symbol looks like.
Yeah, go ahead.
So it kind of looks like a bear claw, but the claw part with the bear head coming out of the side, which I think kind of shows transformation in there. I'm not an artist, so I actually can't draw it out.
Oh, we'll definitely draw it out at some point, though. And I think Howard's been a little bit quiet, and you all kind of wonder if it has anything to do with the situation in the tomb. But he does seem to be noticeably uplifted by this gift that you've given him.
I love him.
Oh.
I didn't say that. So then after I do that, I'm going to kind of smile to myself, and then I'm going to just take like one of the rags I have with me and shine my bear trap.
So you spend your time doing that. The trip passes relatively quickly. Riley does exchange a few words about what happened with Krang in the front seat. They talk some about, what's going on at the university, and she doesn't ever really thank him necessarily for coming, but she talks around it a lot. Just never outright says, thank you. And you can kind of eavesdrop on each other's conversations. There's some small talk, about driving through a desert, and then you hear the city before you see it. Dr. Rhett kind of looks back at you all and says, "We're almost there. Should only be a little bit longer, actually, and I hope you don't mind if we just go to the school. My office is up there, and I have some more gold for you there."
And then I say, "In fact, it'll be exactly," and then I figure out the exact distance from having kept track on the map and equate it into time.
And you say, 15 minutes.
It'll be exactly 15 minutes until we get there. At least to the outskirts of the city. Who knows where your school is? Well, you know where your school is, but...
Okay. If it's to the city exactly, you'd say, I think 5 minutes.
It's 5 minutes to the city exactly.
And as you get there, you kind of pass through some scattered houses. The buildings are a little bit further apart, kind of on the outskirts, but the further you go in, the closer the buildings are built. There's a lot of construction going on. You see a lot of roads kind of closed off. It seems to be expanding. Some of the buildings that you pass even have just like rows of shops. They're all in the same building, and a lot of those are being built out towards the edge of Laurasio. There are a couple of horses on the road and plenty of people on foot stopping by local shops and things like that. But there are also a number of similar machines to the one that you're riding in, and they all look a little bit different, but they are a little bit more commonplace here. The further you go in, the busier those roads get, and the buildings start also getting taller instead of just longer. You see some shops that have multiple stories, but there are still plenty of little, food stalls and little shops lining the road. And I think you can all smell the food from the wagon. There are a lot of people who are out cooking in these stalls, and you just smell all sorts of different foods.
Fish tacos?
You smell tacos from somewhere down the street. Maybe fish tacos. And as you drive into the town, you get to a square where the automobiles are coming from all directions. So the wagon stops, or the car, I guess we're calling it. The car stops and waits for some of the other vehicles to go. And as you're all waiting, you can hear someone speaking from one of the nearby stands. And when you look over, there's a voice coming from a painting of a smiling, middle-aged elven woman in a snazzy suit. And the top of it says, "Newsstand."
Keep checking back for the latest on the salvage efforts in the Durim Desert at the site where the ship sank. At this time, we have no further evidence of what caused this devastating crash. In the meantime, join me, Melody Morningstar, tonight on Lauracio News at 9 as I speak with Charles Cunningway, one of the survivors from the fall of the Feather Flight. He'll tell all, from how he got his job aboard the airship to how he felt when the world began to fall apart around him. And after the break, more on the upcoming Lauracio City Limits Music Festival.
And then the automobile turns and Mary says, "Here we
Yeah,
are."
I know. I wanted to clap.
That was wonderful, by the way.
was.
I loved it so much.
Great job, Mom. You did so well.
I'm so happy.
I will throw out that Mom is a music teacher and Melody was her name choice.
Melody.
Aw.
And you turn onto this campus, and Riley looks around, or Dr. Rhett leans back and says, "Welcome to Lauracio University. This is where I work and where most everyone here goes to school. What do you think?" And really, it is quite lovely from an unbiased perspective. The buildings are made of stone and have these elaborate archways. The grass is all very green. There are settings with flowers in them of all variety of colors. There are some students actually out on the lawn. You see elves and dwarves and some genasi right now with their books kind of spread out studying. And there are lampposts all down the road, which are all lit, even though it's daytime, because this area is really well shaded by trees. And it's just a nice, relaxing atmosphere.
Wow. This is lovely.
The car turns a few times and ends up pulling up next to a building which is labeled, and it says religious studies on the outside.
Everyone's first class.
Dr. Rhett's one of the first ones to hop out, and she says, Krang, do you have time to still help carry stuff in?
Yes, Dr. Rhett, of course. I just have class in a couple of minutes, but I can skip it. It's okay. It's fine.
Good. And kind of claps her hands together, and she says, "Let's start with getting the crates inside, and we can leave the tents for later. So if you need to make it to class after that, that'll be fine."
Oh,
I'll help.
okay. That's
Okay.
great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't need any help. It's all
Nope,
right.
too late. I'm already have hopped into the trailer.
Okay. And I think Keb and Howard do come to help out as well. And before too long, you do get to unload everything, and Dr. Rhett takes you inside kind of with your first load and down the hall to a door on the right. And she says, this is kind of our storage area, so if you could just kind of set things out of the way here, I can get one of the student workers to help me organize it all a little bit later. This will be a good place, and thanks for all your help. And then she goes across the hall and opens another door and disappears inside.
I'm gonna everything I was holding, I'm just gonna drop in a heap.
Okay. I think that Howard and Keb fix it up for you a little bit as they follow you in and are like, okay, pushing them against the wall out of the way so there's a little bit of a walkway. Mary points to the door across the hall to Winnie and Merriweather and says, that's Dr. Rhett's office, and this is one of the places where we have classes. Yeah, I mean, we can take you on a full tour at some point if you like, but I think that there was mention of maybe getting tacos?
Tacos.
Oh, question. So, okay,
Yeah.
first question to DM. Are there a lot of doors on this hallway?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
So there are a lot of doors here. Do you know what's behind all those doors? I mean, I'm assuming some classrooms and offices.
She says classrooms, offices, and storage, yeah.
Okay, but you'll give us a full tour?
And she means
And I mean a full tour.
Yeah.
If you want a full tour.
Behind every door.
Full tour, sure. Sure, we can. Every door on campus?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Do you have a map of campus? That'd be really helpful, actually.
Yeah, I mean, we could probably stop by the student union building and grab one. Sure, yeah, full tour, all the doors. We'll check all the doors, but we might need a lot of time to do that, so maybe after we get unloaded and grab some food. Good with you?
Tacos. Oh, yeah, that's fine. I'm really hungry. I didn't eat breakfast, so. Fish tacos.
At this point, Dr. Rhett pops out from the door across the hall of her office, as Mary pointed out to you, and she says, "Could I see you three for a second?"
Sure. Okay.
And Craig and Keb and Howard keep kind of bringing stuff in. As you duck into the office, office, and
Okay. Oh, before I duck in, I'm gonna tell mostly Howard, don't get tacos without me.
okay, Krang, I think
Promise.
this is the first time you're hearing of tacos. Is there anything you want to add?
No, not really, because he's very tired.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, he drove all night.
That's true. So Howard says, no, of course not. And I think just to make that kind of tie that in, James, he turns to you and says, hey, Krang, we're going to go grab tacos, I think, after we unload. Do you want to join?
Fish tacos.
Fish tacos.
Oh, no. No thanks. I have to get to class. And then Dr. Rhett had some papers for me to grade, I think. And then I'm going to take a nap.
We're overworked. Krang.
Krang is happy to do anything for Dr. Rhett.
Oh.
Happy is such a strong word. And I think Keb says, oh, you're so good. That's great. Okay, we can grab tacos another time, don't you think?
Trial's gonna do that smile that she does.
And I think Keb pretty immediately goes, or we can get tacos twice. We can get tacos now and we can get tacos later.
She's gonna soften and say, good. And now she'll step into Dr. Rhett's office.
Okay, James, thank you very much. I think that will conclude Krang's appearance as well for now.
This was great. Thanks for letting me be a part of it.
Awesome, good job. And as you go to class, I think you do have to kind of rush. It's probably on the other side of campus because that's about how your day is going.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Krang running across campus is a pretty common sight.
And frightening, it sounds like.
Yeah, it's a bit thundering as he runs, you know. As you get into Dr. Rhett's office, she has a box pulled out on the desk and she has counted out 3 piles of gold and she says, okay, so I don't have as much gold as I wanted to. In fact, here's 25 gold for each of you. But since I don't have as much as I want, I also do have a few other things I can help out with. She opens the box that's on her desk and she starts pulling out some items and she says, I mean, they'll need some fixing up, but
Fixing?
Hi, hello, hail and well met, Fablemates. Wow, that is the first time I've gotten to say that out loud in this segment since the community decided to name themselves that, so that's really cool. It's 2 a.m, and we've got a lot in the works, and I might be a little bit rambly, and I really want tacos. So, please bear with me. Also, twins, please someone go get tacos with me today. Thank you to our very first guest cameos this week, Laura's husband, James, and my mother, Julie, whose eyes lit up when she found out we were recording the podcast one weekend she was in town, and I just couldn't say no. But, you know, I'm glad she was able to join in, and yeah, it was pretty special. Thank you to everyone who submitted questions for Women in Tabletop Gaming Month. We're doing a Q&A special where we'll be answering some of those questions, but we also have a lot of other stuff going on. I almost referred to myself in third person there. Renee will be guest starring on Tales from the Fandom for their series of Women in Tabletop Gaming, which will release throughout the month, and then we'll also do some blog posts, and we do have a super secret project we're working on, so we're looking forward to that. Also in June, Laura, Becca, and myself, I almost referred to myself in third person again, will be at Greater Austin Comic Con on June 16th. That's a Saturday. So we'll be posting about it on social media, but stop on by, shoot us a message, send us an email, and let us know you're there. We'll see if we can find you and meet up for a little bit. We're really looking forward to the month of June. It's going to be busy, but it's going to be wonderful. Moving right along, I'll go ahead and thank JP Devando for writing our theme song, Fate and Fable, which we always love. And then more thank yous from there. We have thank yous to everyone who submitted accessory descriptions. The 3 that the Fablemaidens picked were inspired by submissions from James Anderson at Unabashed James on Twitter, Ryan Bolter at Lord Neptune on Twitter, Twitter, and Alex Bokiello on Twitter. I'm adding the magical properties to that, so it may look a little bit differently if anyone did suggest magical properties for their items, but I'm still excited to let you know how that turned out, and thank you so much to everyone who submitted ideas to be used in the podcast. We'll be asking for more of those, so again, keep an eye out on Twitter or our social media for opportunities to be involved in the show. Another thing, we announced Min-Max Mankind this week. We're participating in donating $37 to the Autism Society of America, which is a charity we're all pretty excited about contributing to and we're very passionate about. Infinite Deer challenged us to participate in the event this month. Lawful Stupid coordinated the event this month, and we also challenged our friends in Advantage to participate. And you're absolutely welcome to participate too. All it takes is roll a d20 and add a modifier, the highest modifier from your character sheet, and contribute to a charity of your choice or a charity that you're passionate about. Also, we reached 750 followers on Twitter, which means we will be having another giveaway. It'll be another awesome dice tower from Deep Dungeon Games, and the details for that will be released in a tweet later today using the hashtag #FateFM, so you can find it pretty easily. But the gist is going to be the following. Be following us, retweet the giveaway post, and for a bonus entry, tweet at us a name of your D&D character or a character that you would like to play. Speaking of all of those things, we can be found on social media at FateFMCast across the board or emailed at contact@fatefmcast.com. And if you like the show, be sure to rate and review us on iTunes, support us on Patreon for cool reward tiers, and tell your friends. All of those things make a really big difference for us, and we so appreciate the support everyone has shown so far. So one last big thank you, Fablemates. And now back to the show. These items might be useful to you. I've studied some magic myself. I followed the path of the School of Innovation before I really started studying religion. So the first thing that she pulls out is this armor. Mm-hmm. And it's essentially firm leather armor that has spikes on the side, the shoulders and the chest and back area, but it is kind of bulky. And she says, for instance, this one has a mechanism where the spikes can come out of the armor, but it's a little jammed. I never got the chance to quite fix it, but
I grab it from her and start tinkering immediately.
Okay. She says, okay, that works too. And she starts pulling out more items.
I don't necessarily want this.
Does it look dwarven made?
It does look dwarven made, actually.
Okay, I'm probably gonna recognize that. Mm-hmm. Whenever Meriwether says she doesn't want it, I'll say, I do. I really, really do.
Okay.
And I think that as far as it is sized, it is not really gnome sized. You're going to be a little bit more slight than this armor is built for, and it is quite broad shouldered. But Meriwether, you're able to get that mechanic working pretty fast, and essentially it's a belt kind of on the side where if you pull it, the spikes retract into the mechanisms on the armor, and then when you pull it again, they spike back out.
I'm gonna put it on whenever she gets done and pull it so they're in, and then have them come out, and I'm just gonna say, who wants a bear hug?
No thanks.
Okay, I'll pull them back in.
Okay, yeah, and you can rock your new armor. And Dr. Rhett keeps pulling things out, and now the desk is kind of littered with items. You see a couple of pairs of shoes and several bracelets, some hats, some tiaras, and some of those, there are, for instance, some spiked boots. There are some rainbow-colored sweatbands with plastic hearts on them. There are some sleek black shoes. There's a very wide-brimmed hat with a plumed feather coming out of it, just to name a few. All right, so I think the best way for this to work is if you all kind of pick what you want and let me know, and I can work on them while you go grab tacos, I think I heard.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, give me a second. There's so many things to look at. Wow, there really are so many things.
Sorry, I also wrote commentary on every single one of them.
I love it. I love your commentary, especially on a wide-brimmed hat with a plumed feather, reminiscent of Will Turner in the first Pirates movie. Savvy?
She does like her Pirates movie. Pince-nez? What's that?
Oh, they're like, okay, so they're the glasses that sit on your nose that don't have...
They just like pinch your nose.
There we go. Thank you.
And I didn't finish the commentary on that one, so it just says a pair of pince-nez, which is just super.
I love it. I thought that was very successful commentary.
I think the best goal here is going to be to pick what would go best with character. And Sam, I would say that you did kind of get the armor from this as well, so that's something to consider.
Are you trying to hint at the spiked boots?
What's the commentary on that one? That's spelled incorrectly, and I'm sorry.
Actually, they almost look to be part of an armor set. I was thinking about those, actually.
I mean, I think that you can go either way, but justifiably, I would try and go with whatever your character would do.
How many items can we have?
You each can pick one from this group now.
Aw.
Yes, and regrettably, you don't know what they're going to do.
Twiddle's going to reach into the box and pull out the spiked boots, and she's going to, like, place her, like, index finger on one of the spikes and just, like, react, pull back and go, ooh, spiky.
Yeah, I think that they're actually still pretty spiky, and they're all over the toes. I mean, these boots are made for kicking and stomping and walking
I like
all
that.
over your enemies.
That's
And
right.
that's just what they're gonna do.
I'm going to hand them over to Dr. Rhett and say, fix them.
Okay, shouldn't take that much time. I'll get on that. Meriwether, Winnie, anything you would like?
Okay, so she goes over and picks up the pair of clockwork binoculars.
Okay.
So, Dr. Rhett, I mean, look. So you're gonna fix these things?
Yes, I'm gonna fix them up into magic items
Oh,
for you,
okay.
as in an effort to pay you back for all of your help.
Well, I really appreciate that. But also, half the joy of things is fixing them. But, what? Okay, yes. She's, like, having a hard time giving the binoculars to Dr. Rhett.
I think she kind of looks at you a little bit and is like, I mean, they're not particularly broken. They just could do so much more. They're at the start of the project phase, and I can finish making them what they were meant to be. If you want to have a go with them, sure, but it's up to you.
I mean, no, that's okay. You can, they're your things, and you're giving them to us, and they're your projects, and you can work on your projects.
Okay.
I won't take that away from you.
Great. I'll get to work on these for you.
Thanks.
And
I really
you're going
appreciate it.
with the binoculars,
I
correct?
guess so. I'm really tied between the clockwork binoculars and the rainbow-colored sweatbands with hearts stitched into them because, oh my gosh, I really want those. But I think first the mechanical things.
Winnie. She turns to you and just kind of like waits patiently, like she's trying not to rush you, but is just kind of like hopeful, especially after the exchange with Meriwether.
I have some questions.
Okay.
This is probably more for Renee, but how long is this skirt? Like, is this halfling sized or is this not?
I think that the offer as it would go and would be she's adapting them for you specifically.
Okay.
So that shouldn't be a concern.
Okay, how would the floof work? The floofy skirt over leggings that magically rolls up into a stylish stash, then unfurls with the pull of a cord.
This is, in a way, the way I envision it is kind of a magical girl skirt. So essentially, in practicality, I think you can pull the cord and it like retracts almost into this belt.
Is it kind of like my armor?
Yeah, it's a little bit like your armor, but not weaponized.
Because what I would kind of like, I like the idea of security of having leggings under Winnie's skirt, but she's not ever gonna pull it up.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm.
So you just want leggings.
Well, I also like the skirt.
Okay.
I like floofy.
So really you just want to go to a store and buy a floofy skirt and buy a pair of leggings.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Maybe they have that on campus.
Maybe I should just go with a ring, small egg-shaped opal. There's something inside of it. I want to know what's inside of it. I think, okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm ready.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, look at this skirt. It's so pretty. But look at that ring. Can I open it?
Yeah, I think she hands it over to you, and you try and open it, and there's nothing there yet. She said, that's a bit of an interesting one. I found that stone in some of my early travels before I really settled down, and I think there's a lot of power to it, but I'm not sure exactly what it does. I was just gonna, set it in a ring, give the ring some magical properties, and see what happened.
Is there anything inside it? Or will I be able to put things inside it?
She says, I'm not exactly sure what the magical properties will turn out to be, but I think it's a good choice for you, and it would look very lovely.
Well, okay, I'll put it on next to my other ring. I must like rings.
Yeah, and I think it's about as big, like this opal is almost as big as like that section of your finger, like between your knuckles.
Okay.
And so it's like reasonably sized, but it's very pretty and shimmers. And she says, okay, if you'll leave those 3 items with me, I can make sure they're in working order by the time you get back.
Okay.
Cool.
I did have another question for you. Before you go, the thing on the wall, the crack, has that been happening more?
Well, twice.
More than none.
In our experience.
Yeah.
She kind of nods slowly. She's like, I'm not sure what that means, but planar rifts can be very dangerous for,
A planar rift.
well, all of the planes.
What do you know about planar planar whiffs? Planar rifts.
It's not something I've studied very thoroughly, but essentially, whenever someone travels between planes, it causes a rift. And between different planes are different rifts, and that do pose varying levels of threats. For instance, if, someone visited the material plane from the celestial plane, it may not be quite so damaging as someone from the material plane trying to visit the astral plane, or so on and so forth.
We've never done that.
Never.
I stare at her just with my eyes are wide, but the rest of my face is expressionless.
Okay. She doesn't think too much of it. She's a little bit deep in thought, and she says,
Okay.
I'm just concerned that if you've encountered at least 2 such rifts right now from a plane that we're not familiar with, I mean, that tentacle, I don't know where it came from. I'm a bit concerned about that. And here's the thing. I think I have something that I started working on a while back that might help us be able to track planar rifts. And honestly, I wasn't that invested in it at the time, so it was a project I never finished. But do you think that could be useful in your journey?
Yeah.
Maybe.
You mentioned something about Midaris before. You do mean Midaris,
Yeah.
right?
Is there another
Yeah.
one?
Well, when we say
The actual
Midaris,
Midaris.
we do, yes. It's like how some people are named Jesus.
Exactly. Midaris is a somewhat common name.
But yeah, the big one. The capital M one.
Well, they are all capital M's. That is how names work.
All names are proper now.
If it helps, I am really impressed by your knowledge.
Thank you.
She says, I don't know what your plan is, and I don't know what you'll be doing from here, but if I can help in any way, I think I owe you that much. And if I can get this machine up and working, I think it can track planar rifts before they happen.
How?
Yeah.
Well, right now, it's all very much a theory, and will take a lot of magic and a lot of tinkering. And
Oh my gosh! Oh,
I don't
I'm
think
so
Meriwether thinks that
excited.
Dr. Red is evil anymore.
I'm so sorry for all the things I've said about you before. Please. And she gets really serious and quiet and gets really close to Dr. Red. Please, will you let me work on this thing with you?
And she laughs and she says, yeah, I have to find it first. It's
what?
somewhere in storage, because I stopped working on it for a while. If I find that while you're at tacos, do you think that you could help me out when you get back?
Duh.
Okay, great. Well, you all have fun, and I'll work on these items you've picked out, and we'll see you when you get back.
Tacos!
Okay, tacos.
Okay,
and
so
could you get me a map?
Of
A
the
map?
campus? Do you have a map of the campus?
Oh, yeah, there are a lot of maps over at the student union building.
Okay, where is that?
She said, ask one of the students to show you. I'm sure that they'll be able to point you in the right direction.
Great. Okay.
Okay, you walk back out into the hallway, and Keb and Mary and Howard are all waiting for you and are like, taco time?
Taco time.
Taco time.
Taco time. Taco time.
They lead the way, and Mary kind of says, this is one of my favorite places to go. It's not far to walk from campus. And then, Meriwether, are you still wanting to do the tour after this?
Yes. Also, I have something for you. Are you ready? It's called vocal expression. Ready? Instead of saying this is one of my favorite places, you could say this is one of my favorite places. It's so much more fun.
She looks at you a little bit and is just like, I thought that maybe you could tell by my use of the word favorite.
Well, good thing we have inflection as part of our language to help us understand what we mean, huh?
She says, yeah, good thing.
Ugh. See, even when you aren't sarcastic, you sound sarcastic, and obviously you're being sarcastic now. It's only because we're intelligent that we know how to tell the difference.
She says,
I'm
oh,
not.
good thing you're intelligent.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not very intelligent. It's hard for me to talk to you.
She says, well, it's hard for me to talk to you too.
See, was that sarcasm?
You get the sense that that's the most genuine thing she's said in this conversation.
As they're doing this, I'm going to be showing Howard and Keb my new armor.
Okay, I think that Keb is fascinated by it, and Howard looks a little bit concerned, but not bad. They both think it's pretty cool, you know?
It is cool.
Quick question.
Yes.
So they're all college students. So are they all like in their late teens, early 20s, regardless of race?
Well, yes.
I mean, depending on when they reach adulthood, depending on their race,
Yes, Keb is a little bit older. So yeah, depending on their race. As a dwarf, he is I forget, he's a couple dozen years old. Both Mary and Howard as a halfling and human are younger.
Yeah, I'm only 20.
Okay. Yeah, so they would be all around that age, but different for their varying races.
Halflings are, I think they live like twice as long as people do. So like I'm 30, but I'm 15 and human.
She would probably be about 40.
Okay.
Meriwether, are you the old one?
Yes.
I do feel like we chaperone you more than...
like 97.
Wow.
About somewhere around there.
We're just learning so much about ourselves tonight. We're revealing all these things.
Yeah, it's depth.
Depth.
So they do take you across the street, and it's actually just a few blocks away, but there's a little taqueria tucked into the corner, and it doesn't look extremely trafficked. You get the sense that it's kind of off of the main roads, but it also seems to be one of those like home-owned gyms kind of places.
Kind of like Taco Bell.
Not like Taco Bell. Very much unlike Taco Bell. And you get the sense that it's very cozy, I think is the right word to use. The tables are somewhat close together, and there are framed pictures of family, of students at the shop on the wall, and those take up a lot of the wall. Across the way, there's a counter, and all of the menu is written in chalk on a board. There are a few students sitting at the tables, but it's not very busy, and it is around lunchtime, so
I'm gonna try to look cool and calm as I approach the counter. I'm just gonna say, 1 fish taco, please.
And she says, all right, 1 fish taco, that'll be 10 gold.
Whoa.
Whew. Okay. Okay. Ugh. I really don't like partying with gold, but I'll give her 10 gold.
Wow.
She just smiles at you and she says, fish taco coming up. That'll be ready in just a second. And Mary and Keb all go up as well. Mary goes ahead and orders a chicken taco. Keb orders a beef taco, a ground beef taco. And Howard goes ahead and orders a breakfast taco.
Yes.
Meriwether and Winnie, you have the options here. You have ground beef tacos, pork tacos, chicken tacos, fish tacos, sliced steak tacos, or it's kind of cooked in a special sauce. And I did talk to Josiah about some of his favorite tacos this week to get these picked out and lined up. So these are El Pastor tacos. You have breakfast tacos, you have sesos tacos, and combo tacos, or guarache.
How much do each of these? I mean, what's kind of the general price range? Are they all 10 gold each?
They are 10 gold each, except for the sesos and the combo tacos, which are 15 gold each.
It's so much gold.
It's a lot of gold.
You're college students. How do you afford this place?
They kind of say, well, we work for Dr. Rhett, and usually she pays us pretty well. I mean, we're getting pretty good stipends from the trip.
What? She gave us 25 lousy pieces of gold each. Or 20 pieces. 20 or 25? I don't remember.
25.
25 pieces of gold each.
Mary kind of looks at you and shrugs, and she's like, you three weren't in the budget.
Oh, we saved your life.
Saved your hides.
How about this? How about you buy a taco for us?
As a thank you for saving my hide thing.
I want to roll persuasion. I'm not good at persuasion.
Okay, you can roll that. Go ahead, that's fine.
I'll help.
Whoa. Wow. Maybe she feels really guilty or something because I got a 16. I have a -1 to charisma. And I rolled a 17, so it's a 16.
I think she says, okay, fine. And she looks at the boys. She says,
Really?
will you chip in? And they kind of say, well, I mean, it
I'll
makes
pay
sense.
for half of it.
I won't.
And they say, sure. So Tweedle's the only one who actually forked over 10 gold.
I don't feel bad about it.
Cool. I'm glad for that, because that is a character thing for her. What do y'all want? They do pitch in to get you up to 10 gold, Merryweather, and Winnie, I guess they cover yours completely.
Thanks.
So nice of them. What kind of tacos are y'all getting?
Fish.
Fish tacos?
Yeah, because I spent all my time on the boat, on the ships.
Okay, that's fair.
I want an El Pastor taco.
Okay, great.
I really want tacos right now, you guys.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna get some tacos after this.
Yeah, we found some really good tacos in Lubbock, which is actually kind of impressive.
They're
I think.
so good.
You all sit down at the table, and I think there is some kind of awkward conversation. You don't know each other all that well yet, and you've been kind of stuck in a car together all day. But the tacos come out, and they're sizzling still. I mean, these are fresh tacos.
Wow. Do they taste worth the 10 gold?
They absolutely taste worth the 10 gold. And as you bite,
Free food tastes even better.
I pay back the 5 to the other people.
I just realized something.
Mm-hmm.
This is my first time in a restaurant.
Oh. Okay, how's that going for you?
This is amazing. I know how a vendor works, but this is amazing. I didn't have to catch it or anything.
Are you saying that as you eat this taco?
Yeah. And then I'm just like watching everyone like as they eat, like, okay. And then like, is there like a plate underneath?
There's like a kind of a metal plate.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So like, I'm probably going to put like my taco on the table, and then I'm going to take the plate and stick it in my bag.
Okay. And I think all of the city kids are like cracking up at this point, because they've just seen you like going on and on about this restaurant. And when you stick the plate in your bag, Keb kind of goes, I won't say anything if y'all won't.
And then, okay.
And they kind of go, no. And this is a little bit like, stealing the number from Whataburger.
Yeah, yes. But I'm going to try to look at them and say, you want your plates? Like, we paid for them. So, like,
No.
if you don't want it, I'll take it.
No.
Mary says, no, actually, the plates aren't included in the price.
No,
but,
we just borrow the plates.
No, that's not right. Here, just
Tweedle,
when you get a second.
Did you lick your plate clean?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, great, because I think that was a spectacle, too.
Yes, oh, definitely. Why would I stick a dirty plate in my bag?
I mean,
Fair point.
I mean, you're
right, how
Tweedle.
dare.
I've got my stuff in there. Like, I don't want to get my stuff dirty. If they lift their taco off their plate, I will take their plate and I will stick it in my bag.
Okay, well, tacos are generally like hand foods,
Yes,
so I
they
think
are.
they're regularly eating tacos off. So do you just like steal people's plates out from under them while they're eating?
Well, I steal it and then I lick it and then I stick it in my bag.
Stop! We
'Cause
paid
they've made it
so
pretty
much
clear.
money for these.
Also,
I know.
these are regular size plates. These are dinner plates. I'm just
Normal size. Yes.
Back to the
Also,
plate conversation.
I don't know if you heard when I said it. Upon eating the really good taco, I pay back the 5 gold to the people.
Okay.
I do not.
That's nice of you. That's also fine. I think they do look at you a little bit expectantly, Winnie, but yeah,
I
they
shrug.
don't push the topic. And in fact, after you finish these meals,
I'm gonna write down that I have 6 plates
Vital's
in my
swiping
bag.
plates.
I'm gonna fight her for it.
Oh, are you really?
Yes.
Okay, strength off?
Ooh, it depends on how she's fighting you. Merriweather, take it away. How do you want to do this?
I'm gonna start tickling her. No, I'm gonna go for her shoes.
Wow.
You're gonna.
Pull her shoes off if you take my plate.
You are the worst kind of friend.
These aren't ours.
Do you go under the table to get at her shoes?
Okay, now, okay.
I just feel like this is a bad
No,
idea.
if she
I could kick
if
her.
she goes after her shoes, that's when Winnie jumps in to restrain Merriweather.
Thank you. Thank you. I really don't have to kick her.
money, now you're stealing the plates?
They are not my friend. Twiddle is my friend. Don't exploit her insecurities for a plate.
I'm gonna then I'm gonna try to dig a plate out of the bag.
I'm like holding the bag.
Yeah, I'm fighting you to get into the bag.
All I have to do is stand up and you can't reach it.
I'll get on the table.
Okay. What do you wanna roll anything for that?
Who, me or
Yeah.
her?
What do we roll? What are we doing?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to go about this.
They're never gonna invite us to tacos again.
I think Keb is about to fall out of his chair laughing. Howard is trying to kind of scoot away from the action, like he wants out of the way, and Mary's just like, we can get other plates.
No.
We'll buy you plates.
No.
Yeah, we can. Okay. She just kind of looks at them and she's like, hold on. And I think she goes up to the counter and she definitely gives the 5 gold that you got back, and she's like, hey, I'm really sorry, but we do have some folks who are new to city life with us.
Folks,
and
just one folk.
just one folk who's new to city life, very new to city life, and has
She's
a bit of a thing
stealing your
for plates. She says, can we buy the plates off of you? And the worker kind of looks at her and says, I'm just here part-time, so sure. And Mary hands her a couple more gold pieces and kind of turns around and says, okay, you can have your plates,
Cool.
Twiddle.
Then you're gonna
Okay.
see me examining the table.
Okay, I think it's time we go. I think it's time that we leave. Come on, Twiddle, we got all of the things. Let's go. I don't know that they'll let us.
But you feel like you're leaving this restaurant on fairly good terms. I think there are a couple of other people at other tables who are staring after this commotion, but some of them seem pretty amused as
I'm
well.
gonna wave at them as we walk out. I've been to a
yeah.
restaurant.
I'm gonna
Yay,
shrug as I
Twiddle.
walk past. I'm gonna say, the people staring, I'm gonna say, barbarians, what can you do?
And some guy looks at you and goes, right on.
College kids.
As you exit the restaurant, y'all are feeling really good. Like, you're feeling very good. These were delicious tacos.
man.
Actually, Twiddle and Merriweather, you feel a little bit more charismatic after this.
They're magic tacos?
Winnie, you are feeling a little bit like you have a slightly higher constitution. After eating some tacos. So, tangibly, that'll be, you can each choose one charisma skill to add a +1 to.
What?
Becca and Sam.
Oh my
And that's a skill, so you will have to choose, like, you only get a +1 bonus to, persuasion or deception or whichever one you choose. Winnie, the way that will translate for you is you will get a +1 bonus to Constitution saving throws.
Rock on.
I just got a +5 intimidation.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that one.
So one of mine will go from -1 to 0. That's nice.
Me too.
That is nice. So y'all are feeling pretty good. Y'all talk about tacos, and you end up back at the university campus. Are you going back to see Dr. Rhett pretty straight away?
Nah.
I want to stop at the student center and grab a map.
I want to go pray to Mid. Well, I don't
Okay,
consider it praying. I just consider it talking.
Okay, Winnie, there's a good stand of trees outside that seems like a good place to go and sit and do that. Do you want to kind of narrate what you say?
Yeah. Hi, Mid. Well, I don't know if you can hear me because I'm not in the desert and I don't know how good of hearing you have, but maybe you hear me because maybe you do. You're very powerful. I just wanted to say hi, see if I'm doing good. I haven't done anything, but I want to do good, and I want you to be proud of me. So just if you get time, just let me know how I can make you proud, because I think you're great. So thanks for the rings. Thanks for the rings. They're really great, and thanks for you.
That sounds like a voicemail.
It does sound like a voicemail.
Like a voicemail. Call me back.
He's sitting up in the celestial plane. He's like, oh, I've got one message incoming from Winnie. How nice.
Nice. Why is he drinking coffee in my mind? Like he's sitting down in his armchair drinking coffee and goes, oh, I have a voicemail.
You know he has like one of those old phones, so it's like blinking, the blinking red light. Yeah.
The worst, man.
Nah, he probably has a smartphone. I mean, let's be real. The guy's sending emojis. He's pretty hip.
So with bards at level 3, we're leveling up to 4. At level 3, you choose a college. You decide what kind of bard you will be. And I chose an Unearthed Arcana college, the College of Satire. So basically, I'm a jester. So I tell a lot of jokes. I'm really good at doing flips, things like that. That's what I chose. It gave me, is it called proficiency when you get to fill in that little bubble on your skills?
Yes.
Okay, I got proficiency in sleight of hand and stealth and perception and investigation. I don't remember which one.
Okay.
So it's all above the board though, I promise. Yeah, Winnie is gonna tell jokes. I hope y'all enjoyed that joke about the wall and Julris, because there's gonna be a lot more where that came from. You're welcome. So I decided to level up my charisma to the next tier. So I now have +4 charisma, which is gonna help out. I know, I'm just gonna max that out real quick. So that's gonna help my spells. As a College of Satire bard, as a jester, I get Tumble as a bonus action, which allows me to disengage freely. It also allows you to dash, but I think I'm gonna cut that down to just disengage, because that seems like a lot.
Yeah, and we talked about that a little bit while Laura was looking at taking this subclass, so we got that covered. Don't worry about it.
And then I get some more level 1 spells. Yeah, I have some level 2 spells also. Oh, I'm also proficient with Thieves' Tools because of the Jester thing. And I leveled up my health. So Winnie is sitting under the tree and she is talking to Mid, just trying to understand who he is and what. She really likes him, and so she just wants to talk to him, get to know him, let him get to know her. As she's talking, she's telling some jokes kind of offhand or whatever she thinks is funny.
As you're looking up at the sky, you say some jokes, and maybe you're talking a little bit about how unsure you are, and you're kind of trying to make jokes to help you feel better, and kind of ease that uncertainty. And as you're looking up at the sky, there's kind of this big gray cloud over the sun, and it just starts to move away. And as you continue telling jokes, the cloud moves faster and faster until suddenly the sun is shining brightly. And with just that little bit of change, you feel encouraged and sort of supported, and think that maybe you might be a little funny.
Yeah.
This is so cute.
And Twiddle, what do you do?
Where's Howard going?
Howard tells you that, hey, so I have class after this. Maybe see you later?
I have never been to class.
Now might not be the best time to start that.
Why?
Because
I can behave. Like, look, and I'm like gonna point to my Sarah form and be like, look, I can fit in.
Oh, I don't doubt that at all. But yeah, it's hard to sit through class after you eat tacos. You can tell he's trying to kind of make some excuses.
Okay, that's fine. And then like pat him hard on the back, like a little harder than I probably should.
Okay.
A little passive aggressive.
I think as you do that, he says, maybe next time.
I'm gonna like sprint off. And are we like in the courtyard area?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go climb a tree.
Aw.
As Twiddle is climbing the tree, feeling self-conscious just a little bit after her encounter with Howard, she's gonna find a good branch to sit on, and she's gonna shift into her male dwarf form. And as that happens, she kind of starts to examine her armor. And so as a barbarian, whenever I went to level 3, I got to choose a primal path. I chose the path of the battle rager, and Renee, that's something that we had talked about, because typically that's reserved for dwarves.
Yeah.
And so just with my backstory that we haven't talked about yet, that kind of fit really well with that. And so the path of the battle rager, I love it. It's so great. So I have spiked armor, which will work in coordination with my unarmored defense. So whenever I'm wielding my armor, which I'm probably never going to take off, and I'm raging, then I get to make a bonus action with a melee weapon, and it just ups a lot of my attacks with that. And also another thing I like about it is I can now grapple people with my armor, and so then they're like almost like in a bear hug, like with me. I'm really excited. And then whenever I went to level 4, I also got to my ability score, and so I went ahead and I moved my strength from 15 to 17, so now I have a +3, which I think makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, rock on. And I think that did you mention that the retractable spikes will be a bonus action as well?
Yes, to retract them or to bring them out. I'll have to use a bonus action.
Right. So, and that's a little bit unique, but we chose that option to adapt kind of the Battle Rager armor so that Twiddle still has the opportunity to carry her small party folks.
Gotcha. So I was like, where are you leading with that? Yes, so I can carry my people, because, I kind of like to pick them up. And so that was something that Renee worked with me on, so that way I didn't have to worry about hurting them.
Yeah, please don't impale the other party members.
Try not to.
Yeah, golly gee. And I do think that with Twiddle's preferred form being a dwarf a lot of the time, that this armor is a little bit more loose-fitting in her changeling form, like her straight changeling form. So it's a little bit more loose-fitting now, but in dwarf form, it's going to be just right, as Goldilocks would say. Becca, Mary can take Merryweather over to the student union building to get a map. Mary's talking to you. It's definitely more than you've heard her talk before. But she kind of asks you at one point, she says, so how are you feeling? I mean, the whole thing was pretty crazy. You doing okay?
Honestly, Mary, I'm feeling a little bit bad because we said some things that maybe weren't the nicest things to you, but I mean, now that I know that you're just terrible at inflecting your voice to make it sound like you're being sincere, I think that we may have just misread you at some time in the tomb.
She kind of raises her eyebrows and says, thank you?
Yeah, no problem.
I guess. Great. So Merryweather is feeling like she leveled up.
I'm feeling great. Actually, now that I think about it, now that that's out of the way, that was such a weight off my chest, and now I just feel so great. I feel, what's happening? Just kidding.
She's evolving.
Merryweather. That was a Pokemon joke. Okay.
What?
Because they say their own name. Okay.
Here's what would be really funny if she actually said just her name.
Merryweather! No way. Woohoo, level up! So there are a few different things that happened when I leveled up. First of which is an ability score improvement. So I increased my wisdom from 12 to 14. So now instead of a +1, I have a +2. Oh, I also learned or have the ability to infuse magic, which means I'm able to charge a non-magical item with a spell. So that's really cool. So if, I wanted to give Twiddle something with like some magic stuff, I could infuse your bear trap with something.
Oh my gosh, I have dreams.
I also have something now called Thundermonger, which means that I have learned to channel thunder energy into my thunder cannon. But then I also got to learn some spells. Because I'm so magical. I'm a magical artificer. Okay, so there are 4 spells that I get to choose. So I chose Alarm. Then I also chose False Life.
Cool.
It's necromantic. And then I also chose Jump. And then I also chose Sanctuary. Wow,
Okay.
I feel so strong and leveled up. And like I can do magic all of a sudden.
Mary is kind of like, thanks for the apology. I'm glad we're getting to hang out. And
Me too. We're name twins. Name fraternal twins.
Okay, so after that, do y'all gather back at the religious studies
Yes.
building?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, and I think Mary's still telling you a little bit about the campus Merryweather, and she kind of says, I don't have classes this afternoon, so I guess I can catch up with you after you touch base with Dr. Red about that thing you're working on with her.
Yes.
Okay.
And continue our tour?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
gosh.
I don't have anything else to do, and I don't know. It sounds kind of
Yes.
fun. So
I'm
cool.
having a blast with you. See, do you notice how I said it in a way that communicated clearly that I was having a great time?
She says, "Yeah, I can definitely tell that you're having a great time. I'm having a great time too."
Okay, well, we can work on it.
Okay, so you head inside, and you get inside, and Dr. Rhett is sitting at her desk with a note in her hands, and she's kind of rubbing her temples. And she says, you're back. So slight hiccup in the plans. The machine's not here. I know you just saved me and my team from the desert, and I promise I will make this up to you too. She puts the note down on the desk and she says, I need you to help me find my sister.